ever felt it, that weird, unsettling feeling that the years are just slipping away faster and faster? It's a feeling that kind of creeps up on all of us. So we're going to dive into exactly why this happens, because it's not just in your head, it's actually how your brain is wired.
Just think back to when you were a kid. Those summers, they were epic, right? They stretched on forever. But now, you blink and suddenly it's the holidays again. This isn't just you being nostalgic. It's a real fundamental shift in how we perceive time itself. And trust me, the science behind it is absolutely fascinating. Okay, so here's the first thing you have to get your head around. There are really two kinds of time. You've got clock time, that's the objective, constant tick-tock of seconds and minutes that never changes. But then there's psychological time. This is the time your brain creates. And this kind of time, it's totally elastic, it's subjective, and it's the one that's playing all these tricks on you. That's what we're going to explore.
So where do we even begin? Well, we'll start with the first and, honestly, the most common explanation you'll hear. It's often called the time paradox.
Right, so check this out. This is the proportional time theory. When you're 5 years old, a single year is a massive 20% of your entire life. I mean, of course it felt huge, but fast forward to when you're 50, and a year is just a tiny 2% sliver of your lived experience. So each year feels shorter because relative to the total life you've lived, it is shorter. Simple math, right? But wait a second. If it was all just about proportions, then a really boring week, one stuck in meetings, should feel incredibly long, right? And yet, when you look back, entire months of routine can feel like they just vanished. Poof, gone. This tells us the proportional theory is a good start, but it's definitely not the whole story. Something much deeper is going on. And that leads us to the real timekeeper in all of this, our brain. But here's the big secret. Your brain doesn't actually have a clock. It's not ticking away seconds one by one. No, instead, it builds its sense of time from a bunch of other inputs. And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. Your perception of time isn't live, it's a memory. Your brain looks back at a period and basically asks itself, okay, how much happened? How much stuff do I remember? It's a storyteller piecing together a narrative. And the length of that story, that becomes the length of the time. Which brings us to the core scientific idea that really explains this whole phenomenon, the memory density theory. So what is memory density? It's really just the number of new, distinct memories your brain files away in any given period. Think about your childhood. It was absolutely jam-packed with firsts. Your first day of school, first time riding a bike, first sleepover. Every one of those was a dense, totally unique memory file. The more of these files you create, the longer that period of time feels when you look back. The logic here is actually super simple, but it's also incredibly profound. Our brains are just constantly processing this fire hose of information. The more new and unique that information is, the more our brain has to actually work to record it, which leads to a really crucial conclusion. The more time it decides must have passed. It's that simple. More story equals more time. Your childhood feels so long because its story is an epic, filled with all these new characters and crazy plot twists. Adulthood? Well, a lot of the time, it's not. So, why does adult life feel like it's on fast forward? Well, it's because routine is an absolute time crusher. Let's look at how this works. See, your brain is incredibly efficient, maybe a little lazy, in a smart way. When you do the same commute, eat the same lunch, watch the same shows, your brain recognizes the pattern. It basically says, another Tuesday, seen it, done it. No need to record all the details. It just flips on this compression mode to save energy by not creating new, rich memories. The vacation paradox shows this perfectly. So while you're on a new, exciting vacation, the days can actually feel really rich and long because you're forming so many new memories. Meanwhile, a routine work week can just drag on. But now, look at it in hindsight. The vacation, packed with all those memories, feels like it flew by. But that routine work week, it's not just short, it's gone. It's a total blur, compressed into one single generic work week file in your brain. So this is exactly how an entire week can just disappear. Your brain sees the familiar stuff, it goes into compression mode, it stores almost nothing new, and then when you try to remember that week, it just pulls up a generic template for a typical week. The unique experience of those 7 days is just lost. And with it, the perception of that time is lost too. And this right here is the hidden cost of a comfortable, predictable adult life. We work so hard for efficiency and routine to make everything frictionless. But in doing that, we're basically giving our brains permission to stop recording. And when that happens, our perception of time just accelerates like crazy. But here's the good news. This is the really important part. We are not powerless here. If we understand the mechanism, we can actually step in. We can actively work to slow our perception of time right back down. So, how do we do it? We have to consciously, deliberately increase our memory density. This means seeking out new things. And it can be small stuff, trying a new restaurant, taking a different route home from work, anything to disrupt the pattern. It means practicing mindfulness, actually being present in the moment so your brain has something meaningful to record. What you're doing is giving your brain new, unique data to create a richer, denser story of your life. You're basically increasing your own experiential resolution. At the end of the day, we can't stop that objective clock from ticking. That's a given. But the richness, the length of our lives, the part we actually experience, that's totally up for grabs. So the real question isn't about getting more time, it's about how much life you can pack into the time you have.